Have you ever left home thinking your cat will miss you, only to return hours later and find them napping like nothing happened? It leaves you wondering if your cat really cares about you at all. The truth is, cats may not greet you as warmly as dogs, but they have their own unique ways of showing they miss you. It's not always obvious, but there are certain behaviors that suggest they're more attached than you might think. Let's take a closer look at 10 signs that your cat actually misses you when you're away. Number 10. Restlessness. Have you ever come home to find your cat pacing around or acting like they can't settle down? It might not just be a random burst of energy. Your cat could be showing signs that they miss you. Cats are creatures of habit, and when you're not around, their routine gets shaken up, leading to restlessness. You might find them circling the house, jumping on and off furniture, or just aimlessly wandering around. This behavior can signal that they're anxious or confused about your absence. It's similar to how humans might feel anxious or fidgety when things aren't going as usual. Scientifically, the lack of their favorite human could lead to changes in their emotional state, making them feel a bit on edge. This restlessness is simply their way of trying to process the absence of their favorite person, hoping for your return to restore order and calm. Number 9. Staring out the window. Why does your cat sometimes sit by the window, staring out into the world like they're waiting for something? It might seem like they're just daydreaming, but there's more to it than meets the eye. Cats are naturally curious creatures, and windows give them the perfect view of the outside world, from birds to cars and even passing squirrels. But when you're away, they might not just be watching for entertainment. They could be searching for you, feeling a bit lost and wondering where you've gone. Staring out the window can be their way of keeping themselves occupied and distracted while also keeping an eye on things. There's a scientific angle to this too. It's believed that cats find comfort in watching moving objects, which might help reduce anxiety. This behavior also triggers the release of calming hormones, offering them comfort during times of separation. Number 8. Extra affectionate. Imagine coming home after a long day, only to have your cat suddenly follow you everywhere and rubbing against your legs like a little shadow. It's like they've missed you more than anything. This surge of affection isn't just because they want treats. It's their way of reconnecting with you after being apart. When cats act extra affectionate, they're signaling that they've noticed your absence and are eager to have you back in their world. You might find yourself getting more headbutts, snuggles, or even a new lap cat. On a scientific level, this affection is tied to the release of oxytocin, a hormone that helps both cats and humans bond. When you return, it triggers this feel-good hormone, and your cat will naturally seek out your presence for comfort. So, next time your cat is all over you, know that it's not just a, "Hey, good to see you" moment. It's a sign of relief that you're home and ready to share some love. Number 7. Staring at you. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room, their eyes fixed on you as if they're studying every move? It's not just curiosity at play. When your cat watches you closely after you've been gone, it can be a sign they're eager to reconnect. They might be observing you intently, trying to understand when you're going to settle in, or even waiting for that first move to make sure you're truly back. Cats are masters of body language, and they pick up on subtle shifts. So if they're glued to your every move, it's their way of reacquainting themselves with your presence. In the wild, cats need to be constantly alert to stay safe, so even domesticated cats have a strong sense of vigilance. When you're gone, they might feel uncertain about the environment around them, and when you return, their watching behavior is their way of checking if everything feels safe again. They're instinctively making sure that things are as they should be. Number 6. Pawing at the door. Have you ever walked in to find your cat desperately pawing at the door? It's not just a random act. They're actually communicating that they miss you and want you back. This behavior is often seen when cats are separated from their owners for a while. Pawing at the door can be their way of expressing frustration or simply showing that they've been waiting patiently for your arrival. It's like their version of saying, "Hurry up and come back. I've been waiting for you." The action of pawing also triggers positive reinforcement for them when you eventually open the door and give them attention. On a psychological level, this act is a sign of attachment and dependence. It's their way of expressing both excitement and a bit of anxiety. signaling that they're eager for you to return. Number 5. Meowing more. What if I tell you that your cat's sudden increase in meowing is their way of telling you they've missed you? Cats aren't usually chatty creatures unless they have something to say. And if your cat starts meowing more after you've been gone, it's a pretty clear sign that they're excited to see you again. This vocalization is their way of seeking attention, affection, or even just a bit of reassurance after being away from you. In the wild, cats are independent animals, and they use meowing to communicate with their kittens or other cats, usually when they need something. When they meow at you more than usual, they're doing the same thing. They're asking for help or showing they need something from you. As they're human, the best thing you can do is respond to their meowing with affection or playtime. By giving them attention, you help them feel safe and loved, which strengthens your bond and reassures them that everything is back to normal. Number 4. Sleeping in your spot. Did you ever catch your cat curled up in your favorite spot on the couch or in your bed? It's like they know exactly where to go when you leave. But it's not just because they want a comfy place to sleep. Cats love comfort, but they also like feeling connected to you. When they sleep in your spot, it's their way of keeping you close even when you're not around. In the wild, cats are instinctively territorial and love to control their environment. They choose spots that give them a good view, making them feel safe and secure. It's no surprise that your cat takes over your spot when you're gone. It's about more than just comfort. The warmth and the scent left behind are reminders of you. And in their world, it's like they're holding on to a little piece of their favorite person. Number 3. Playing more than usual. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly get a burst of energy, playing with toys or pouncing around like never before? It's like they've turned into a little whirlwind of fun. While cats are known for their independent nature, if they're playing more than usual when you're gone, it's likely a sign they miss you. When cats feel anxious or bored, they often channel that energy into play. Your absence can stir up emotions, and playing becomes a way for them to cope. In the wild, cats rely on hunting to fill their time and energy. Your cat might be mimicking this behavior in your absence to manage the tension they feel. It's their way of feeling in control and distracted from the fact that you're not there. You may notice them pawing at their toys more aggressively or darting around the house, trying to recreate the excitement of the hunt. Number 2. Excessive grooming. Does your cat suddenly seem to be grooming more than usual when you're not around? It might just look like they're tidying up, but it could actually be their way of handling your absence. While cats are naturally neat and love keeping their coats clean, if your feline friend starts grooming excessively, it could be a sign of stress. Think of it like when we bite our nails or pace back and forth when we're feeling anxious. Cats, when missing their favorite human, may turn to grooming as a comforting routine. It's a way for them to soothe themselves when they're feeling off. However, if grooming becomes too much, it can lead to bald spots or even irritated skin, so it's important to keep an eye on it. So, it's up to you to ensure your cat doesn't feel too lonely and ends up getting bald spots on its body. Number 1. Scratching furniture. Does your cat seem to go wild scratching your furniture when you leave the house? You might think they're just being mischievous, but there could be a deeper reason for it. Cats are naturally inclined to scratch as it serves multiple purposes, from marking their territory to keeping their claws healthy. However, if the scratching becomes more intense or frequent when you're away, it might mean your feline friend is feeling stressed or anxious. More importantly, if it happens when you are away, then it is likely a sign that your cat misses you. The act of scratching releases scents from glands in their paws, so they're essentially leaving their mark. But it's not always just about missing you. Excessive scratching can sometimes indicate medical issues like allergies or skin infections. So while your cat might be trying to tell you something about their emotional state, it's always a good idea to keep an eye on their scratching habits and make sure they're not acting out due to other problems.